this out. Today, I'm kind of excited to be reviewing this bike behind me. This is the Solar E-Clipse 2.0. There's a few reasons why I'm interested in this. One, it's fully street legal. I'm a huge fan of fully street legal bikes because, you know, there's Surons and all these bikes out here like the Talaria, and while they're pretty fast, you know, being in some neighborhoods where you're gonna have to worry about cops, it's just pretty nice to know that you can have a street legal bike. But on the other hand, we're gonna see how much fun it is and how much power it has. Now they say it has 10 kilowatts of peak power and a 72-volt battery right out of the factory. We're gonna get this thing unboxed and we're gonna go for a rip and see how it handles. Let's go. See if we can go by the user manual, safety stuff. All right, now that we got this thing open, we just gotta connect the battery through this wire here. Push it in, and then we hear that click, easy. Now we can put this thing back. So, since this thing is street legal, they have this thing for the plate holder as well as the rear lights. This, again, everything you need to make it street legal. But for the purpose of going out to ride right now, we're not gonna include it, but it is here. It's great that they included it. All right, well, at least now we know it works. So we're gonna gear up and give this thing a test. All right, we're in sports mode. We're fully charged. If you can see, 97%, 98%, basically fully charged. We're in Brooklyn right now.
So part of the reason I was really excited to be reviewing this bike is because there's very few bikes like it on the market right now. And what I mean by that is that it's essentially a street legal electric dirt bike that has similar weight and handling characteristics as the classic Suron Lightbeat. Yet, unlike a stock Lightbeat, it's slightly more powerful, and more importantly, it does so at a cost of just a tad under 6K and fully street legal. Okay, before we dive further in, here's some of the quick specs just in case you want the facts right off the bat. As of right now, the UK-based company Solar Scooter is listing the base E-Clipse 2.0 model at $5,995. Power-wise, the motor is rated for 6 kilowatts with 10 kilowatts of peak power. And like I said in the beginning, it comes with a 72-volt 45 amp hour battery, which comes out to an estimated range of 50 to 70 miles, of course depending on how you use it. For power, I think 60 miles an hour is as fast as one would need to go for urban, non-highway use.
All right, we're at 33, 40.
And even with a higher top speed, with the bike only weighing 138 pounds, I can't imagine it being too stable while getting passed by a semi. On the other hand, that 10 kilowatts of peak power in only 138 pounds is a pretty fun power to weight ratio, especially if you're looking to ride this more like a supermoto and practice maneuvers. For comfort, I think Solar Scooter could have added a slightly more padded seat. The design looks great, but functionality wise, it would have been great to get some more comfort. But then again, with the dual sport like design, it's not exactly expected to get as much butt to seat time as a cruiser, so let's look at how it stacks up as a dual sport. With that fully carbon frame and swing arm, you do get a pretty light curb weight that comes in at about 49 pounds lighter than an Ultra B, but on the other hand, that fully carbon frame does raise some questions. For example, the clearance between the bottom of the frame and the ground is noticeably short, so if there's any strong impact to the bottom, for example a large rock or curb hitting it, or maybe some set of stairs, then that's going to mean some bad news for the way carbon reacts compared to the more lenient way that a metal frame, or better yet, a reinforced skid plate would react. But then again, for the purpose of more calm urban riding, this might not be at all of a concern the way it would be for somebody looking to hit Colorado mountain passes on the weekend. On a similar note, the bike comes with large 19-inch wheels both for the front and back, which gives you a decent seat height of 32 inches. Now, to be clear, those 19-inch wheels are for those that opt for the off-road wheels rather than the 16-inch supermoto wheels they offer, and to be honest, I think those might be a little bit more fun for street riding. For suspension, the front inverted forks give 203mm of travel, which I imagine would be a ton of fun and perfectly adequate for conditions like, say, a moderately rutted fire road, but I wouldn't necessarily want to do any big jumps with it, as it's not in the ballpark of the higher end suspension setups like what you would expect to find on a Stark Varg or Zero. But then again, those charge a hefty premium for those parts. As for the quality, the components are on par with what you would expect for this category. While there's no Öhlins level suspension, there's also no part that feels like they cheaped out on. For obtaining plates, the process involves emailing Solar Scooter, and they'll be able to send over a manufacturer certificate of origin as well as a title, and then depending on the state you live in, you can either register it as a moped or a motorcycle, just like any other ICE motorcycle. All in all, for a price tag of $6,000, having a 72 volt 45 amp hour battery with that same kind of lightweight trail bike like handling as a Light B, all while having plates, makes the Eclipse 2.0 a decent value. While it's still a big chunk of money, having to upgrade to a comparable battery for a Light B might end up setting you back a few more dollars in the end than the Eclipse. On the other hand, while the Eclipse has plenty of speed to offer for city and non-highway use, if you're looking to mod your bike like plenty of people like to do with Surons and Talarias, I would keep in mind that unlike brands like Suron, Solar Scooter doesn't have the same type of aftermarket support. For fun supermoto style riding, I think this is a lot of fun and comes right out of the gate with the basics I would want, but if I was looking for more off-road aggressive electric motorcycle, the combination of low clearance and carbon frame just might hold me back from going full send on certain types of trails or jumps. But then again, as the saying goes, any bike can be an off-road bike if you're brave enough, and if you made it to the end, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
3, 2, 1. All right, we're at 33, 40.